So it's funny because I remember many years ago we were going to Sevilla on a school trip and we were stopping in one of these towns. This was like 25 years ago. But what I remember is that the men normally in this area they go very early to the farms, okay, because of the temperatures, especially in summer. And then when they come back, they go direct to the bar. Bars are only for men, okay. The ladies, it's not that they are not allowed. But a lady going inside the bar, the reputation will be on the floor. Lady going to the bar, because the bar are for men, she's looking for men, she's a waste. Okay, so none of them are gonna go inside the bar. But what I remember is that it was lunchtime when we stopped there, and you could see the bar full of all the men, that time smoking a big cigar with a glass of cognac, playing cards just before going for lunch. And all of a sudden there were a few ladies coming outside the bar. They didn't go inside, but they were just shouting the names of the husbands because food was ready and they were not there. They were really annoyed. If you could see them all running away like puppies, okay, like really scared because the ladies were gonna tell him off big time, okay, because they were not ready for lunch. The food was already on the table and they were still in the bar. So at the end of the day, are the ladies the one having that power and that control. Also because in the area, we've been talking about all these different wars, and remember when we were in Salamanca explained something similar. When all these men were killed in the war, or they had to exile, or they had to hide in the mountains, the ladies had to do all the housework plus the farms, okay, so that gives them that power. But they're never gonna show off that power, okay? They pretend that they do what they're told, but the reality is something different, okay? They are very, I think that you say, subtle, or subtle, yeah, like they don't speak it loud, they just very low, they say, no, you stay here, and they just get scared for what could be coming.
Are you speaking from personal experience?
I'm also, yeah, you can tell that it's also a bit of personal experience because she's from this area, and her whole family. So the worst time is when we decide to go there for a weekend. It's a weekend that I'm just sitting on a chair and not allowed to do anything. Because I'm surrounded by all the grandmas and aunts and all that. And then I have to do something I don't really like, which is going to the bar to play cards, which I don't like. So it's a weekend of hell, but never mind, that's private life. Don't tell her if you see her. So I'm pretending that I can't wait to be back again with your family in your beautiful village. But totally the opposite. Right, so these are Almodovar. Is always showing a bit something they do in this area, sort of tradition, especially for the senior ones, okay? Once or twice a year they go to the cemetery. I know that it's not going to sound very pleasant to go to the cemetery, but for the ladies it's probably the best day in the year. Why is that? Because they go to the cemetery, only women, to clean all the different headstones, but there's no men around. It's a day that they take food with them, they have like a picnic, they dance, they sing, they're free to do anything without the man pointing, you're making silly things, you shouldn't be dancing, you shouldn't be... So that's what they like. So when you get back home, if you want to see a nice movie from Almodovar, and also you can see Penelope, I know that you like her, but just for you to know, in the country we can't stand her because she's very uptight and arrogant. And she doesn't like Spanish now. She's in love with the States, okay? She gives interviews there, she's in the magazines, but not in here. So we don't like Penelope anymore. But if you want to see her in a movie, there's a movie called Volver, V-O-L-V-E-R, okay? Yeah. Volver, which means come back, okay? And although she lives in a city, but shows a bit this area. All the movies of Almodovar, they're gonna show La Mancha, because he's from here and he's very proud of it.